Hi, I'm Mort Cooper, your host on Change Your Voice, Change Your Life. In the studio with me is Dr. John Curtis, my co-host, and we have a young, sprightly young man who has come to visit with us, work with me. He has a condition called spasmodic dysphonia. It's considered hopeless. The subtitle of the program is Botox for Life, and his story is about that. Dr. Curtis wants to interview me and interview the gentleman, Ronald Steger. So, Dr. Curtis?
By the way, I chose the title Botox for Life because it's really drugs for life. It's not just Botox. I mean, it's all over the news. Front page article in the LA Times today. It's amazing. I mean, they want to put people on statin drugs, and statin drugs, as you know, are cholesterol-reducing medications. Important drugs to be sure, but whether they should be, Americans' daily one-a-day vitamin, I'm not sure about that, but that's what they look like. And it looks like in your field, too, Botox sounds like as sweet as candy. I want to take it, I love the sound of it, Botox. But Dr. Cooper, what is Botox, and why is it prescribed for people with a strangled voice?
Well, Botox, as you know, is botulism toxin. It's a deadly poison. So they name it Bo for botulism and tox for toxin. And it's a very sweet-sounding candy-like substance. And you, Ron, were given 5 Botox shots.
Yes. Every 90 days, he had me come in for a Botox shot.
People hearing you would not understand why you're here, and you're supposed to have spasmodic dysphonia. Spasmodic dysphonia, Dr. Kurt, you talk like this. Oh, you can. You don't sound like that.
That's the way I was talking 3 days ago. And I've been a patient of yours. You've been training me and teaching me how to speak from the mask instead of my lower throat like I was speaking.
If I play your tape, you'll recognize your voice when you spoke with me by phone?
Yes.
Can I play it?
Yes, you can.
Folks, here's the initial voice he gave me March 5th,
Friday.
2004, on Friday. And the first day you came in on Monday, I got your voice back, and you've been here for a couple of days, and one more day intensively, and you're talking with a normal voice. Let's play your old voice 4 days ago, where they told you it's neurological, you never get your voice back. You need Botox for life every 3 months or 1 month.
Yeah.
Botox shots. Let's listen to what you sounded like.
Yeah. Okay, this is an original. This is March 5th, year 2004. Your name is Ronald Steger. Okay. How long have you had this condition? A year and a half. Okay, was it sudden onset or gradual? Just...
Okay, now there's a pause there. Dr. Curtis wondered what happened because he heard it. You couldn't talk.
Yeah, that would
7 seconds.
The harder I would try to talk, the tighter it would get.
Yes.
Don't you find it interesting that when you say they, you said, well, they told him this and they told him. We're talking about the medical profession that told him this. And these are leading experts in the field.
That's right.
These are people with extensive medical training and background in their respective specialties, especially in the area of head and neck and voice. And what's interesting to me is that Ron went with the intention of improving his voice. And can you explain, after you went to your doctor for your first consultation, what happened after that?
My first consultation, he taped me like he did here, and he diagnosed me with spasmodic dysphonia, and he gave me 3 choices. 1, Botox shots, 2, surgery, 3, live with it. And I decided to try the Botox because he highly recommended that. It helps a lot of his patients get rid of their spasms in their neck. So
Did he tell you that your voice would actually return to normal after taking the Botox shots?
He said I would get rid of these muscle spasms and I would be breathy, but I would get a voice. He didn't say what kind of voice, but I would get a voice. And
Did you get a voice?
I would be real breathy for like 6 weeks, where I could just whisper, like, "Hello, how is it out there?"
Did
And
you have
I
to
still
take
had a
deep
hard
breaths
time
to get your
talking.
voice?
What's that?
Did you have to take deep breaths to get your voice?
Yes, I had to take a deep breath, even to whisper. And
Because the
then,
vocal cords were paralyzed and the air was going through.
Yeah.
Then
Are
what
you
happened?
aware that with or without Botox, that most patients can force a whisper voice, whether you have the Botox or you don't have the Botox? You can whisper like this.
You don't need Botox.
You don't need
to get a
Botox to
voice.
whisper.
They're creating a whisper voice with Botox. They're paralyzing the vocal cords.
That is an improvement. That's not a voice improvement when you get a whisper voice.
No. But you got it for 6 weeks, and then did you get a normal voice or did you get some
Then
voice?
I would get like an almost normal voice, but it was not like it is now. And then I would go right back to the way I sound on that tape, back to spasms, and I have to go back in for more shots.
So in the first 6 weeks, the spasms disappeared or they were still there?
Well, it wouldn't sound like that, but it still was difficult to speak, even with the shots. The spasms weren't choking me, but I still had to take a deep breath to talk.
Okay, so they abated the spasms
Yeah.
with the Botox.
Yeah.
Then you had some 2-week period, and was it a normal voice like this?
Close to it.
Okay. Then the spasms came back,
Yeah, when the shot would wear off. I had
and
to
how
get
long was
more.
that? How long were the spasms returning? For another 6 weeks?
Right after the shot would wear off, almost to the day, almost 3 months into it, they would come back as soon as the
Okay.
shot would wear it off.
So you had 6 weeks of a whisper voice, 2
Yeah.
weeks of some voice, and then back with the spasm voice, and then you got another Botox
Yeah,
shot.
yeah.
Was that the repetitive pattern?
Yeah, they tried different doses, larger doses, and then that would hold it off longer. The breathiness was longer also, and then they tried different areas in my neck also to.
They tried the interior of the vocal cords and then
Yeah.
the exterior of the vocal
Yes.
cords, and they tried the extrinsic muscles of the neck.
Yes.
Did it ever get you a normal voice?
No, not like today here. No.
So you like this voice? I've helped you too.
It's fantastic.
You know what's interesting about this is that they claim that the medical personnel claim that you have a neurological condition. And the Botox is supposed to reverse the neurological condition. It's not a cure, and they didn't promise you you'd get your voice back. What they promised you is that you'd have a reduction in spasming. Now,
Yeah.
what they gave you was a Botox voice. You have a Botox voice. The Botox voice is a combination of the strangled voice and the breathiness that comes from when the vocal cords are paralyzed as a result of the Botox. But now, the situation you're in is you must decide for yourself whether you have a neurological condition, and if you decide that you don't have one and you disagree with the physicians, as Dr. Cooper has pointed out to you, he's not a neurologist. He can't reverse a neurological condition. So the progress that you've made with him up to this point should categorically prove to you that you do not have a neurological condition. Because as far as you know, Dr. Cooper, are neurological conditions reversible?
No, absolutely not. They use the term of dystonia. Did you hear that? You have a
Yes.
dystonia,
Yes.
which means that you cannot change. How long did it take me in the first session with you in the evaluation to change your voice?
In the first session, you trained me and taught me how my voice should sound by not talking from the lower throat, speaking from the mask. And I'm not 100% mastering it, but I'm only my third day doing this, and it's amazing. It is amazing.
They were going to give you Botox for life, subtitle of the program.
Yeah. Yes, that's what he said. Some of his patients, he's been giving shots for 10 years, he said.
Did
And,
they?
and it wasn't. I did not like the outcome of the Botox shots, and I didn't want to take any more shots. I said I want the surgery, or I want to do something different.
Oh, so you were considering the surgery at one time?
Yeah, he gave me a choice. Somebody in California that does the surgeries.
Burke
a lot of them.
or Dido?
Was it Dido?
Yeah, he did a lot of them, I guess.
Yeah, but they never have a single cure. I'm going to ask you something. If you ran into somebody in the sales field, in your field is herbal activity.
Mm-hmm.
Herbalife.
Herbalife.
Yeah.
And you never, the person said how good they are, but they never made one sale.
I'm not following you there. You said
If somebody told you they're a great salesman, but
Okay.
never made
They want to
one,
come on his network.
Oh, okay.
You were screening them. You were evaluating them for
Yeah.
a job, and they told you they were a salesman who has never made a single sales. Would you have confidence in that person
No.
to be able to send them out?
all right. The point I'm making.
But why do
I
they
got
have
it.
confidence in the medics when they have not had a
Because-
single cure
because-
in over 133 years?
Right. Because I talk with you. Why do you have confidence?
Well, when I went in to see Mr. The doctor, he...
Where were the doctors? Where are the medical centers?
Well, the first one I seen was Milwaukee, Frederick Medical College. Dr. Albert
A great
Maratti.
medical center?
Yes.
Who is the doctor?
Dr. Albert Maratti.
Okay. A fine doctor, humanitarian,
him?
Yeah.
compassionate.
Cooper,
Okay, yeah.
Are you familiar with that particular
No,
physician?
but I'm interested in the line of thinking that I wanted to pursue. Yeah.
Well, when I went in there and when I seen him, he had all this medical equipment, an arm full of doctors, white coats, and I believed him. When he told me this is for life, there's no known cure, there's Botox surgery or live with it, I believed him. And then I went to another clinic because I wasn't satisfied with the results I was getting with him for 6 months, so I went to Minnesota, the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota, and I seen Nicholas Margos, and he looked at me and evaluated me and said the same thing: spasmodic dysphonia, surgery, Botox, or live with it, Ron.
You can go anywhere in the country, probably in the world, and they're going to tell you the same thing. That's their paradigm. Dr. Curtis, he's not going to get a choice.
Cross-country,
Yeah.
it's universal. And guess
So
why? It's
but-
because, let me just follow up
Yeah,
this one thought.
yeah.
It's cross-cultural and international because there's a thing called a multinational pharmaceutical company, multinational drug companies, and they sell their products all over the world. It's not just here in the States. And so Dr. Cooper's had patients, they've actually had this treatment in Belgrade. This is state-of-the-art treatment in Belgrade, Yugoslavia, after Clinton had bombed the place into the Stone Age. This is the treatment they were offering people. And what they were offering you was medical hocus pocus. And hocus pocus is an interesting thing because everybody wants to believe in hocus pocus. Did you know that? I mean, we all want to believe in miracles. We want
Are
to
you
believe.
speaking for yourself, Doctor?
I'm speaking, I think,
are you
for
representing or misrepresenting me? I prefer not to believe in hocus pocus or what somebody is telling me.
Everybody wants to go to sleep. They want to become amnesic, close their eyes, and either have somebody take a scalpel out and operate on them or inject them with something, and then want to wake up and they want everything
Dr.
be
Curtis,
back to normal.
If I found out that the surgeons doing the surgery that you possibly would consider have never reported a single cure since Trout first described the condition 1871, I would have very serious doubts, anxieties, and second thoughts about the matter. Now,
So you'd have reservations about going for surgery.
absolutely. Now, you may be desperate, and they're dealing with desperate people, but I would try to weigh my option and look for another answer to this thing. Why don't they have a single cure? We're not talking about a few cures. We're talking about the fact they never report a single cure in over 130 plus years. Are you going to invest your life and your voice? I'm asking that as a matter of fact.